Hi, welcome to Cowtown Colorworks. My name is Lori. I'm coming to you from Columbus, Ohio, where I live with my cat Wellington and my mom. I'm not sure what's going to happen with this recording today. I'm having some technological issues, if you will. My laptop won't open the camera app, which is bizarre. So I'm using my iPad. We'll see how this works. It's my first time using this iTunes recording app, so we'll see what's going on. So it's been an hour of dealing with that this morning. What's going on in Columbus? Not a whole heck of a lot. I'm in my living room. Different view today. I feel like my basement's dark. I'm hoping when the spring or summer gets here, I'll get some more light down there. If not, I'm going to permanently move it. I just haven't found an actual destination that I like yet. Maybe I'll go back outside or random, like Heidi and I were doing. We can go different places. Today is, what is today? Sunday, April the 10th. And it is like 30 degrees outside. It's crazy. It went from 70 to snow. And I think everybody's having crazy weather, so we're not the only ones. But literally, it snowed yesterday. I'm over it. Winter, you had your opportunity. You failed miserably. And now it's time for some spring to come in. But it will get here soon enough, and then I can get out on my bike. I've been back to the gym. I kind of put the kibosh on that for a while, and now I'm back. It's been about 4.5 weeks. I go in the morning between 6 and 6:30, depending on what time I have to be at my desk. The gym is actually at my office, which is very convenient. So I go in, I work out. Oh, sorry, I'm a mess here. I go in, I work out, I take a shower, and I report to my desk at my assigned time, whatever time that is. We rotate, so it's anywhere between 7:30 and 8:30. And I get out anywhere between 4 and 5. What else is new in Ohio? Not a lot. The Buckeyes, go Bucks, started their spring football training. The Schottenstein Center is going to be having 6 episodes, or 6 concerts with Garth Brooks, which is really nice. But that'll be 2 weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, on the Ark in the Mall. I am, however, with my niece, Sarah, a.k.a. Cupcake. I think we're going to go to Tennessee. And we're not going to SSK because I don't have vacation time. She doesn't have vacation time for that. She's working on her master's. I'm going to Punta Cana in a couple weeks. So excited about that. But I really want to go shopping in the market. I don't know, is it crazy to drive 6 hours to shop for yarn? I don't know, but we may do it. I know there's a lot of indie dyers that are going to be there. I watched their podcast. I know Dramatic Knits is going to be there. Fat Squirrel is going to be there with her bags. Mustache Yarn is going to be there, and I need some self-striping sock yarn. I mean, it's just crazy, and I really want to go. I mean, and I know there's a lot more people that are going to be there. That's just what I remember from looking at it. So my niece and my mom and I might just drive to Tennessee. Take a half day on Friday, drive down, shop on Saturday, do a little sightseeing, and come back on Sunday. I mean, is 6 hours crazy? I don't feel like it. Heidi and I, a couple years ago, drove 5 hours for a yarn festival thing up in Michigan. We slept in a tent, so I don't feel like staying in a hotel and sightseeing. I love Nashville. Want some barbecue? Maybe it'll be warmer there. So I'm totally planning on that. That's not till July. In a couple weeks, my 5 cousins, well, 3 cousins, 2 spouses, my 2 best friends, Jen and Terry, hi, are going to Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic. I cannot wait. I need a vacation, something terrible. So we're leaving on the 25th, and we'll be back the 1st of May, which I'll take the 2nd off. I doubt I'll record from there, but one doesn't know. I'll have my iPad with me, so if this works out, maybe I will, and then load up a podcast and make them record with me, or Jen will record with me, and Terry might. Please, Terry, please. From the beach. I mean, how fun would that be? I won't have a lot of knitting with me, and I've kind of finished off a few things. I started 2 projects that I want to bring with me. Okay, I started one that I want to bring with me. I'm going to try to finish this one set of socks before I go and then cast on the other set that I want to bring with me, if that makes sense. And it's all about color, really. I mean, I just want to be knitting on fun, summery colors while I'm in the, at the ocean and swimming in the beach. We love to snorkel and kayak. I'm sorry, I'm just noticing I might be having some crazy eyes here because I'm not really sure where to look. I know my camera is here, but I want to look at the big red button here. So I don't know. Anyway, I'm all kinds of crazy. I am wearing my Drachenfell. I don't really know how to say it. Drachenfell, and I'm loving this edge and this I-cord bind. Oh, look at me getting all up in it. I-cord bind off. I have it on backwards. I'll have to fix that. This end, and then, oh, that's the same end. Over here, I love this detail. And how it kind of goes from the black into the gray. Oh, sorry. Black into the gray into the red. Love it. But I'll fix it. Because I thought it looked funny. And it does. Because this is the correct side. So I'm wearing this today because it may get out of the 40s. But if not, I mean, this is definitely warm. I just finished it, so I don't mind wearing it. We're headed to a town about a half an hour from me. It's called Heath, Ohio. That's where my cousin, one of my cousins, and her husband and 2 children live. Love the children. And the oldest son, Riley, has a fundraiser at a local restaurant. And they're going to have pizza and wings. And the money proceeds go to his summer baseball, I think. Yeah, baseball. His baseball team. So we're going to go support Riley, visit with my cousins. Sarah will come down from where she lives at, which is about an hour from here, and we'll meet in the middle. And just have a nice little afternoon. Maybe bring something home for dinner, because my refrigerator is not working either. I'm not going to harp on it because I'm trying, don't want to be a negative person, but I paid a lot of money for this Samsung, and it's not even a little over 3 years old. I got it in February of 2013. So yes, it's just over 3 years old, and it has been nothing but trouble. It doesn't hold temperature. Yesterday we came home and it was 50 degrees in the refrigerator. And that's how severe this has been. I've had to buy a thermometer to keep in my refrigerator so that I know when it's losing temperature. So I finally, we thought we fixed it, not fixed. So I called Samsung yesterday. They're going to send a repair person out. My new story is going to be, you either fix this or replace it, because I spent way too many dollars to have a refrigerator that the ice machine randomly doesn't work and the refrigerator side just keeps losing temperature. And I'm wasting so much money on food because you can't, when it gets to 50 degrees for who knows how long, because I was at home, your dairy mostly is not, it's not good. It's not going to work. So I was able to save like some butter and things. I threw it in the freezer. We have a chest freezer out in our garage. So I was able to do that, but I don't know. I thought I heard my cat behind me, but it's the fireplace. It's that chilly this morning that I have fire going. Which will be lovely because it'll probably be the last fire of the winter. So other than vacation, spring is upon us. Sorry, my allergies. And I'm into I want to purge my house. I don't know. I just feel like I want to go through everything and throw it away. And it's spring. I want to clean my garage. I'm tired of stuffing everything out there. And mostly what it is just lawn furniture. It's the stuff that went up on my back patio. Tables, chairs, umbrella. And then once all that is gone, I can see my garage again, and then I don't feel so cluttery. Yesterday I needed to change the kitty litter, so I ended up cleaning the basement, which is my craft space / spare living room. I mean, it's a large space. And off in a corner I have my sewing table and where I craft and things. I mean, I'm even to the point where I'm going through yarn and getting rid of stuff that I don't necessarily want or need. Winding up cakes to make, start new projects, so everything is kind of set. Because I really want kits, and I'm like, I just have so much yarn that I don't want to go out and spend money on kits when I really just need the pattern, because I should have yarn if not. I don't have, I say I have a lot. I don't have anywhere near what I've seen some people have, but I don't know if it's called OCD, but I don't like to have a lot of projects going. I feel very overwhelmed. I don't like to have a lot of yarn. I feel very overwhelmed. If I have 3 or 4 things going, that's okay, and I will then stop myself from casting on anything else until I finished, you know, what I'm working on. Now this, I didn't seem to suffer from that with this shawl. It's pretty big. It took me about a year, but it kind of was, I'm not going to say boring, but it really wasn't that exciting, and it literally was just knit back and forth. So, and it's done, and I'm happy, and it'll be ready for football season, and that's what it's for. I mean, it's my homage to the Ohio State Buckeyes, if you will. So, sorry about that clanking. Other than that, I'm getting the itch to dye yarn. I love dyeing my own yarn. I tried selling a little bit. It just, there's so many dyers, and I don't have a big enough following at this point. I have my bags on Etsy. That's kind of to be determined. I'm going to try to send out some more and see what's going on with that. But I think I'll just dye for myself for now. And I ordered from Knit Picks. They had a sale. If you spend, I think, $50, you get free shipping. So I ordered, because I really want a luxurious something. Just being silly this morning, but I ordered some sock yarn with cashmere in it, 2 skeins of that. I ordered a sock blank. I really am curious to try to do a sock blank, and I kind of have a color in mind that I want to do, and Sarah wants to do one as well, and I think she wants to do some type of an ombre, and I thought about ombre, and that might end up being what it is, or something else. I'm not really sure, but so I got a sock blank. I got 2 skeins of cashmere merino nylon mix, and then I got 1 skein. I think I got 1 skein of the Felici Bear, what they use for their Felici socks. Just to do, I'm going to do some fun socks with that. So that should be coming, and I ordered also a couple skeins of yarn, 2 more skeins of merino silk from Pearl Soho from New York. And that should hopefully be here in the next couple of days. I really want a summer. I love navy blue and white stripes. And I have some Knit Picks white glimmer. And I thought I could do navy blue with just 1 or 2 little pinstripes of the white glitter. And I think that would be super fun. So, I should probably get into what I'm doing. What have I finished? Well, I didn't finish this, but I did block it last night. And I tucked in all the, well, there was only 3 left. Because I had gone through a phase where all these stripes, I don't know what I was thinking, but instead of floating the colors, I was cutting them. Which doesn't make any sense, but that's just where my head was. So I really had a ton of ends to weave in. So I had gone through and done all those. And then I realized, silly, you can just float them to the next row. So then I started doing that. And then I also, which I don't remember who it's by, but this was the Dreckenfels by Melanie Barg, B-A-R-G. It's a kit on Craftsy. When I went to get the kit, they were out of stock in this color, so I bought the pattern and then went and got the colors that I wanted. And then I also blocked my Darjeeling, and I do not remember who that is by, but I got that pattern from Heidi out of her Interweave Knits magazine. And then I finished, oh, this is so cute. See if you can see it. It's called Polina, and I don't remember who it's by, but I can look it up here in a second. Is this not stinking adorable? Now, it's not really the whole Polina. This top portion is the Polina, and it's knit flat until you get here, and then you connect it and start in the round, which is kind of neat because it's just one, flat piece. You pick up 4 stitches on each side for the underarm, and then I started the lace panel, and somehow I just got out of skew. I wasn't sure what was happening, and I also decided here in Ohio, if you're going to put your child or your little girl, baby, newborn in knitwear, it needs to kind of be warmer. So I did just a panel, if you can see here. And it's just this little panel here, and it's, let's see if I can get some light through it. Like a little lacy. It's gonna some holes in it. And then I did a 2 purl rows, 2 ridges, and then I just finished it off, and then I finished the end off with a couple ridges and a bind off. And the bind off is actually not too bad. I also, after I did this lace little panel, I picked up some more stitches so it would be a little more flary, a little more girly. When I blocked it, I didn't pin this down, and now I need to spray it and pin it before we give it to her. But I just think this is totally, completely adorable. This was a test knit for me, just kind of a practice. I am going to give it to my niece's, one of her roommate's sister, who's having a baby, because it's a beautiful dress. It's just not, it's acrylic yarn, and I didn't 100% love knitting with it. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. The girl I'm giving it to is not a knitter. She's going to have a newborn. She does not need to worry about doing, you know, washing wool and how to wash wool and hand washing and blocking. So I feel like this is something that could totally be thrown in the washer. Maybe lay it out to dry. Not a whole lot. And then these little sweet little pink buttons. That I have jars of buttons, so I'm like, I need to start using them. So I dug through my jars and I found these pink. I just find this so adorable. Now, if my Sarah decides to give me some babies to dress, I will make her, I will make her some wool because she knows how to handle wool. And that's pretty much it for my finished objects. Oops, sorry I hit the table. Now, what am I working on now? That is the question. In my owl bags, I have a thread on it. Where you came from. My owl bag, which I love, pink on the inside. I picked these back up, and I need to finish them. These are the socks that I want to finish. I think I showed them last time. Ah, yarn everywhere. There we go. Obviously, this one already has the heel flap and the gusset. No, the heel flap and the turn. I need to pick up the gusset and then knit them out. And then last night, I cast on the second one. And I honestly, it's like nothing. It's silliness, to be honest with you. And I'm only a couple rows in to my typical. These are just my generical 2x2 ribbing. And I think I'm only going to go about an inch. Yeah, only about an inch. And then I'll pick, you know, do the leg, pick up the heels, turn it, and done. Hopefully I'll have these done, you know, in the next week or so. If I am motivated to do so. Because then I'm casting on my other bag. I love these little bags for socks. I bought Barocco socks, 75% superwash wool, 25% nylon. There is no color name for this. It's color 1468. And it's super pretty. It's gonna, I'm assuming, be a self-stripe or a stripe of some sort. So I make, I guess you would call them OCD balls. What I'll do is start this one from the middle, because this is the green, and start this from the outside. And they should okay match. It's okay if they're not 100%. So I'm definitely loving, oh, that looks pretty. And that's really a good representation of that cake. And then this one, this is the green and the darker colors. These might get cast on, we're not going to lie. And then I want to do, I ripped out my doodler. It was wrong. Something was really wrong. So I ripped that out. I have another, I'm going to do another shawl. Maybe the doodler again, maybe not. But this is the yellow from that. So I'm going to do, I feel like the heel and the toes in this bright yellow, and kind of make them more summery, brighten them up a little bit. Heel, toe, cuff in this yellow. So I can actually cast them on at any point and do the cuff. So that's an up and coming that I caked up last night. This yarn is not super soft, but we'll see what happens when I So good. I love that magenta color. So that's coming up. And then again, these are just going to be my generic. Maybe I'll buy a pattern. You know, or I'll look at some of my pattern books. Molly from a homespun house just put out a new sock pattern. I think it's Molly Weasley's sock pattern. So that looked kind of interesting. I won't lie. For me, the beauty of sock knitting is its simplicity. It's something that I can just sit and knit and not have to think about a pattern, worry about counting stitches. It's honestly just mindless knitting that I can do. I think Christine on Yarning's podcast refers to it as conversational knitting. And there's still a place in my life for that I can just kind of sit and knit. It makes me happy. It gets me relaxed. So I'll decide. I don't have to make the decision now. I don't leave for vacation for a couple weeks. But that definitely could be airplane knitting, beach knitting. Because the last thing I have cast on, which I didn't get very far on this one either, it's called the Abalone Shawl by Carrie Denning. And this is a free pattern on Ravelry. It's made out of lace weight. Oh, I like that I can get super close on this iPad. If the volume is good and it works out, this might be my new thing. Make sure it's not going to make you nauseous here. I like it. It's summery, it's light, and it's also made out of lace weight. So I feel like it will be... Let's see if I have another picture of it. I do. I had to write down who it was by. So it's nice. I'm excited to try this. It's made for nurturing fibers, single spun lace. I don't have that, but I did have my New York bag. I had some yarn from Knit Picks, lace that was undyed. And so I dyed it up. It's a little brighter than it is in reality. Maybe back here. Yeah, it's not quite so much, but it is a raspberry pink. It's pink. Or more of a magenta, maybe. Yeah, magenta. Super pretty. And then I have, for the contrast, this tealy. That's pretty close. Teal color. This is Pattern yarn from Joanne. I didn't have a contrast. Okay, I did have a contrasting color. It was a purple and gray. I think I even have the tag in here. By Pandora's yarn called Charlotte Black Orchard. It was blacks and gray and a purple. But I think it was cobweb lace, and I went to cake it up and it became a tangled up mess and I had to get thrown away. I was not fighting with it. So I went to Joanne, and this is a acrylic merino nylon. So there's some wool in here. Not as much, obviously, as hand-dyed, but for a few little stripes, I thought that screams summer fun. So I've only gotten the first setup row. I need to start my contrasting color here in a second, but this is really all that I have done on this. Nothing much. But it went pretty quick just for these first setup rows. And I think the in-between rows are going to be mostly knitting, and then on the ends picking up your 2 stitches per row. I believe. It may be more than that. The setup doesn't seem to go that way, but... And then we have our contrasting colors. And these needles, I have no idea what they are, but it's a US... It says it's a US 3. But when I put these in my needle size, it's a 4. So I don't really know what the deal is. The pattern calls for 4. I have plenty of yarn because I believe it only calls for doesn't say. It's a pattern. I mean, they're using like 600, 500, 600 yards, and I have 880 of the pink and 698 of the teal. I've got plenty of yarn to make it, and I plan on making it longer. It also is, interestingly enough, says you can use DPNs. I don't know how you're going to get all of that. That's a big shawl on some DPNs. I'm going to continue. I want to make it a little longer just because I like it. I'm not a small girl. I like it to wrap or shoulder wrap. Just trying to get it. I've been so staticky and my hands have been so dry. And I think a lot of it has to do with the knitting and the weather. You know, the heat's back on. So in the weather. Interesting about the Barocco is kind of, when I cake it up, I weigh it, cake it, you know, until I get to the halfway point, cut it, and then cake the second half. It was interesting because it was only 95 grams, and it's not hand spun. It's hand spun. It's not home dyed. It's not indie dyed. It's a commercial yarn that was only 95 grams. I was like, I lost 5 grams here. How does one lose 5 grams of yarn when it's a commercial product? I mean, whatever. I have plenty, but especially doing the contrasting heel, toe, and cuff. And then I thought I might even have enough yarn left over to reverse it and make a pair of yellow socks with the Barocco cuff, heel, and toe, and have like missy matchy kind of fun socks. Just something silly I was thinking about. And that's it for knitting. I'm on the hunt for patterns. I'm looking for something, a shawl, a cowl to replace a doodler. And I saw a Martina Bim pattern that I really like. It's a 2-color, and it's almost like in the shape of a feather, and then the colors are using short rows, and I wonder if I can find it. Using short rows. Sorry, I'm going to get on my phone and look up Ravelry real quick. But the short rows make it look like a feather, and it's so pretty. And I did cue it in my Ravelry account. I actually have cued a few things. I just want something different. I mean, I love what I've been knitting. Let's see if I can get this big enough for you to see. And it's called Mrs. Watson. Here we go. I should be able to see that. Let me get the reflection off for you. Is that? Ooh, oops. There we go. I like that a lot. And that might even be something fun if I have enough of the white. I don't know. I have to check and see how many I have. Skeins, or I can just buy a skein of white, you know, white sock yarn. This also kind of is intriguing to me, but it takes a lot of yarn. But it's called the Anchored Wrap by Leah Kakari Swift. But in the corner, you knit an anchor. Would that be the perfect? I love beach themes. Would that be the perfect cruise wrap? And it's pretty large. The way that she made it, it's pretty big. Let me see that. Yeah, there we go. But it suggests, the Anchored Wrap. It suggests, interestingly enough, this is made with Lion Brand Cotton Ease. I've not worked with cotton before. 11 to 1300 yards of cotton. I'm not sure that I want to make it out of cotton. Maybe I'll check it out and try it. I've never knit with it before, but we'll see. I don't really know. So that's kind of what I'm on the look for. Something completely and utterly different than my standard. I know he hasn't come to see you, but I need to show you this. If you're not my friend on Instagram, this is my crazy cat, Wellington, and this is how we sleep. Flat on his back, ready for a nap. Speaking of, I'm sorry I didn't tell you. I am my cat Pearl on Instagram and Ravelry. Friend me on Ravelry. I'm not real super active. I don't really know a lot of people on there who are super active. I could be, I'm just not. I'm also on Facebook, although I don't really, the Cowtown Colorworks on Facebook doesn't really get too much action. And mostly I'm on Instagram. You'll find me on Instagram. If you want to ask me any questions, have any advice on stuff I can knit, any patterns you think are fabulous, please feel free. Send me an update, send me a link, send me a PM, and I will check it out. I'm certainly interested in that. We're going to be coming up on my 1-year anniversary, and I want to do some type of giveaway. Maybe I'll dye up some yarn, maybe a bag, maybe a combo. Maybe I'll pick something up. I don't know, but it's in June, I believe. So we're coming up on that. I do have 2 new books. So as I mentioned, I am going on vacation. And there's nothing I enjoy more on a vacation than relaxing. So I work pretty hard. I work a couple jobs, take care of my family, you know. But when I'm on vacation, I love my books. I love books. So my friends are knitting me. Oh my goodness, I'm knitting on the brain. My 2 best friends who I'm sharing a room with, we've been texting each other, talking, messaging. What are you packing? What are you bringing? And I have been super uber focused on books, yarn, and snacks. Snacks? We're going to an all-inclusive resort. I should not need food, but it's a almost 6-hour flight, 5.5, I think, hour flight. And so I'll need snacks for the plane, but I'm not sure where my head is because I'm leaving in 2 weeks and I just bought my first shirt, vacation shirt, yesterday. Now, to be honest, I travel a lot, I cruise a lot, I have got an obscene amount of summer clothes. I don't need much. I need a couple shirts. I mean, that's going to be the extent of it. So I need to kind of go pull my shorts out, pull out my dresses, pull out my bathing suits, cover-ups, and just get everything freshened up, hanging them up, ironing, and then see what I need for shirts to match some of the shorts. It's not a big thing. Books, however, are a big thing. So I read and listen to books every day. Right now I'm reading a Mercy Thompson book by Patricia Briggs. It's the latest, Fire Touched, in her series. It's not an audiobook yet, or at my library, that I listen to via this Overdrive app. If you don't have it, it's fabulous, especially for long car rides. And if your car has like sync, I have a Ford, my car has sync, I can, between my phone, if I turn on my Bluetooth on my phone and my radio, I can listen to audiobooks through my car speaker system, which is fabulous. Or I can just throw an earbud in, which is not real safe, so I don't do that much. But either way, and at work, between phone calls, if I'm just doing, it's a quiet day, I can listen to books, and I enjoy that more than listening to music, and I don't get as wound up as if I'm listening to the news, like some of the news apps, CNN. This political stuff is driving me nuts, so I just stay away from trying not to listen to too much news and NPR. But I have 2 authors that I love, 2 of the authors that I love, I should say. I've got many. Had books out April 5th. This book here is the last book in the series. The last book came out 2 years ago. Sarah, Cupcake, and I were flying to London. And we picked up the book and we did not start it till we got to the airport. That was the book 4 in this series. We were almost finished by the time we got to London. And it wasn't a huge book, but I love this series, and it's called Crossfire series by Sylvia Day, and this is One With You. It's the last book in the series, and this thing is huge. I was anticipating a shortish book like the last one. This one has almost 500 pages, 471 pages. The last one probably had 200 something, maybe 300. It definitely was not, maybe that big. Not this big. But so I ordered this and it came, I ordered them both. Love this series. I just like these books. Not even fantasy, which is my norm, is paranormal fantasy. Romance, sort of on the lines of the 50 Shades of Grey novels, not as differently intense, I suppose. Gideon and Ava are in this series. And it was supposed to be a trilogy, and she picked up 2 more books in it, which made my day. So happy. So I got this book in the mail. And then my other author, and she might be my personal favorite, is J.R. Ward. That's her picture. And this is The Beast. And it's the latest book that has come out in the Black Dagger Brotherhood. And I forget who. I think this is Rage. Yeah, it's Rage and Mary. Her books are always super long. This one is, well, 73 chapters, I can tell you that. 508. So they're about the same. I knew this one would be a long book. Her books are generally very long. Even the book I talked about last week, which was The Bourbon Kings, is by this author. More of a dynasty, J.R., Who Shot J.R. Dallas kind of a read, where this is vampires, definitely full on fantasy, romance, paranormal. At our store, Half Price Books, her stuff is in the paranormal romance. I don't even know what book number this is. 11, 12, whatever it is. I love them. I love series books. I have a very hard time. I don't like to read standalones. I like to get into the character. I like to follow their lives, if you will. And I just like to not have to keep getting into new books. So, of course, I love these. And this is Sylvia Day. She's the author of this book. So I was excited, and my thought was, I'll get these both. I was going to get them anyway, but I would bring them both on vacation with me. Some reading at the airport. I figured the Sylvia Day book will be shorter, read that halfway through the week, and then pick it up. Not going to be necessary. I'm just going to bring this one. This will be my beach read, and then J.R. Ward will be here when I get back. Or if I get a chance to listen to it, maybe I'll listen to it and just throw it up on my shelf. I have very few authors that I actually buy the books. I could spend a lot of money that I don't want to spend on books. I mean, not that I mind spending the money. I just don't have the room in my home, and I don't need shelves and shelves of books that I may only read once or twice. So in this case, these are the 2 authors that I do own all of their books. A couple others, but I try to keep it to a minimum of series that I have. You know, because I just enjoy listening to books. My newest book that I'm listening to, and if you don't have this app, I highly recommend it. It's called Overdrive. Actually, I lied. This is on Hoopla. Hoopla. The book is called, the author is Kim Harris. This specific book is The Good, the Bad, and the Good, the Bad, and the Undead. It's about Rachel Morgan. It's a series. I think there's 7 or 9 books in this series. Hoopla is an app. Hoopla. Oops, I don't think you can see that. It's too shiny. You can borrow, you have to put your library card in, but you can borrow TV shows, books, or CDs. And I believe you can borrow 12 a month. And the difference is you don't... Oops.
Audiobooks.
I just turned it on. For the Hoopla, you only get 12 a month, which that's a lot unless you're watching like a TV series or something. And you can get it on your phone, I'm assuming on a tablet as well. And it's a free download and everything is free, you don't have to pay. And then Overdrive is the library app. And what you do is you put your library card in and you sign into your region's libraries. Now, Ohio has a coalition, so I believe it's all the libraries in Ohio are part of this coalition. You can borrow ebooks, or you can borrow audiobooks, or I want to say music too, but I'm not 100% sure on the music. But they only have so many copies of each, just like a hardback book. So the last book I had for my author of a different series that I read came out, and I put it on hold, and I was number like 65, and she had 13 copies. Our library had 13 copies. So it took a few weeks. I believe you get 21 days to listen to or read the book, and then if you don't return it on your device, it automatically returns itself. But it's great. I mean, I don't have to go to the library. I don't have to, order books and go pick them up. I can just get them on my phone. I have it on my iPad. So it's nice. I don't have to run around, and I'm not spending a lot of money on books that I could be spending on yarn. So, works for me. I think that's it. I've done a lot of chatting, a lot of talking. We'll see how this works, uploading it onto YouTube. We'll see about that. Check out my store. I have some bags up there still. I'm kind of making some decisions on what's going on with that. Summer's coming. I love summer. I love riding my bike. I'm really getting excited for some yarn stuff. I want to dye some yarn. I'll take pictures of that and put it up. It'll be fun. Sarah's not dyed yarn before, so we'll have a good time doing that. And hopefully I hear from some of you on projects and what you love to knit and what are your knitting. And check me out on Instagram. I post lots of crazy cat pictures and knitting and food. A lot of food. Like low carb, healthier foods that I make that I think look pretty or whatever. But have a great week. Happy knitting, and talk to you soon. Bye.